All right, here. Good afternoon, Dr. Shankopotamus. I don't know, maybe morning or night or whatever, but today it's afternoon. Working on the 2000 BMW 328ci. You see me work on the 328i. This is my daughter's car. This is the one, if I ever post the video, I repaired the whole front end. She took a front end hit. Pretty much everything from here forward on the car has been replaced and or repaired, and I did a video, but it's a really long video. I don't know if I'll ever post it. Anyway, today I want to show you some things with the radiator on these e46 BMWs, and it may be on other models too, but I know it's on these because I've had to deal with it a couple times before. I'll be showing you can use this video on how to change out the radiator fluid or drain it and flush it. It's pretty easy. We're going to start off on the ground. I'll take the cap off here. Then once we're up, I'll show you there's a particular hose on this model that has got a ring in such a position, and I'm guessing it's for pressure that they designed it, and it's got an external ring that holds the tube on, keeps it in place. However, that metal ring up against the rubber of the hose over time with vibrations and whatnot will begin to eat through the rubber and you'll blow it. I usually keep one around. I didn't have one around, and about 4 weeks ago, my son was driving the 328i out of town, and that hose blew. I knew what it was, nothing I could do about it, but we had to tow it back home and put a new hose on it. So I'm going to show you guys what to look for, and checking on the 328ci, I'll show you where this hose is going bad. It hasn't ruptured yet, but you definitely want to keep an eye on this hose on this model, and once it starts to wear, I would switch it out before it bursts. So we'll start on the ground, lift it up, and I'll show you what we're talking about. Okay, so I've got the hose here. This is I guess we're going to say Rhine, right? Rhine. This is the number off of it. I did get this one off of Amazon. Sorry, ECS Tuning, but I've got to get the car back to my daughter this weekend. Amazon had that we can deliver it tomorrow thing, and I went ahead and got it from Amazon. A couple things with these hoses. Pretty ingenious, actually. I really like the way the BMW hoses snap together. So you see there's a metal piece here. Well, I might have to get a screwdriver up underneath it to get it to pop out. But that's what locks it in. See the metal on the inside? That's what locks your hose on. And you can get a screwdriver up underneath it and pop it up, I hope. There he goes. There. So you want to be sure it does stay in those grooves. Like you saw, sometimes if you twist and pop, it'll pop out of the grooves. Make sure that their lock stays in. But once you pull the lock up, you see now you're open and you can slip it on and off. So the one that's on there, you're going to have to get this popped up and get it off. Here's these bands I was telling you about, and I'll show you up underneath. You can see they put the band on there to tighten it down to secure the hose to the connector here. But over time, because of the vibration, you can see where it's already pinching the hose a little bit, and this is brand new. That vibration wears through the rubber right there, and then the next thing you know, you've ruptured a hose and you got fluid all over the place. This is the lower hose that goes from the reservoir, okay, which is right here, bottom of the reservoir up into the to the engine. Okay, so we're going to take the top off here. Makes it a little easier to drain all your fluid. Another thing, make sure you do have your antifreeze ready to go. Okay, when you do this, if you get the full strength, you'll have to mix it about 50-50. I don't really mess with checking them. I've never had much trouble with it, but I do have where you can check how with the temperature for your fluid once you mix it up. 50-50 seems to work just fine, and I've done it for a lot of years and not really messed with checking it. But anyway, we'll get this off. We'll get the car up. I'll show you how we drain the radiator fluid, and then I'll show you how we put this on. Pretty quick job, actually. Won't take you too long at all. Okay, so I took the cap off. All right. Got it up on the lift. You've got this cover, so we're going to pop this cover off first. It's pretty easy. It's got these, I don't know if they're really quarter turn or half turn. Screws right here that all come off, very easily there. I'm just going to slip this right on off. Just drops off just like that. Okay. Now once you're off there, I'll look up underneath here, see if I can get some light, and I'll show you this hose that I was talking about. Oops, sorry about the camera right there, guys. And girls, I guess. Don't mean to be sexist with y'all. Here we go. Let me get this light on here for you. All right, so the cover's off. We're looking up underneath the driver's side of the vehicle. There is an air intake here that goes up to your, alternator, okay? Pops off pretty easily. There you go, get that off. And now you can see, hopefully, what I'm talking about. Let me zoom in here just a little bit. Oops, sorry. See that hose? Look at the edges on that hose. There's a little fluid around it too. It may have already started to leak just a little bit. It just hasn't given way completely, but you can see there's a big difference in the rubber around that end and the rubber around the metal piece on your new one. Okay, so you want to watch this hose. This hose is, I don't know, but to me it seems like the most likely hose to bust. I'm not sure what happened. I thought I replaced it when I replaced her radiator for that front end hit, but maybe I didn't, because maybe at that time it really wasn't worn through very much, but right now it looks awful. So we're going to drain the radiator. Let me back out here and show y'all. This is a drain hose so you can drain the overflow or the reservoir tank up there, okay? Up underneath here, let me back up just a little bit more. Let me zoom out a little bit more, I'm sorry. This is your drain for the radiator, okay? So you want to open this one and this one. That way you won't have a bunch of fluid come down. You know, and thinking about it, I'm going to give it a try. You might be able to drain this one only and save some of your fluid if you're not doing a flush. I'll give that a try, because if you're with your thermostat closed up top, just thinking about this out loud here, y'all, you should be able to drain here, and then you'll drain the engine out of here, through here, controlled. Then you should be able to disconnect this and not have coolant go everywhere. So I'm going to give that a try, almost like this is live television, and if it makes a mess, I'll let y'all know, and we'll go back and drain from here so you drain the whole system. But let me open this up, drain the reservoir there and what's in that hose, and we'll see how it goes. A few little tidbits here when we're dealing with this kind of fluid. Just get you a bucket. There we go, nice bucket, nice clean, that special bucket. Very important, I've mentioned this before in some other videos, it's very important that you don't splash any of this up into your mouth, get it onto your face, and definitely don't leave it sitting around for pets, okay? Ethylene glycol, glycogen, all right? It's sweet, it tastes sweet. The ethylene glycol that's in here can kill you, can kill your pets. So once you drain this, dispose of it immediately or cover it up in some way that your dog or your neighbor's dog or cat or whoever can't get into it, or a kid might even think, that looks like Kool-Aid. So be very, very careful with it. It only takes, fully concentrated, it only takes, 30 or so cc's, maybe 60, to really mess you up, all right? So don't let it get in your system, and definitely don't leave it sitting out where dogs or pets might get a hold of it, because it will kill them. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and drain this out, and we'll go from there. Okay, so we got it drained out into the bucket over there. And I'll show you, this is the one, took a little bit of wrangling, but not too much. Look at the bad boy that came off of there, and look here on the side, look at that. I mean, it is so ready to give it up right there. So definitely needed to come off. So I'd watch this hose. Like I said, my son was driving the 328 and this hose gave way. Pretty easy to get the other one back on. It just goes straight up there like this. A couple of tips before you put the hose back in. Make sure that your locks are up so you can slide on easily, then lock it down. A trick to get into the top, when it's sitting up at the engine, this lock is facing just a little bit down and out, okay, towards the driver's side. Get your screwdriver up underneath there and pop it up, pull it off, okay? And then this one, of course, we saw on the bottom is just straight up on the top right there. You can't really mess this up. You'll see you've got, if we can see it, it's not too dark. There are, let me get some light over here. Woo! Okay. There's little slots here and here, and they're slightly different sizes, so it's gonna line up. It can only slide in one way. And then once you get it in, push your lock down, you know, like that. Little bitty tug, don't tear anything up, and just make sure that you're in. Don't forget to reattach it right here, and don't forget to tighten your drain cock back up underneath there before you start to fill it with fluid. I would recommend, like I'm doing right now, leave this air intake off and leave the plastic guard up underneath here off until you fill it. Run it for a little bit and make sure you're not leaking. You want to run it until it gets to full temperature so that you know your thermostat is opened up and everything's circulating through the system, and the system's all pressurized and you don't have a problem. You don't want to get on the road and have this thing, you know, cut loose. So get it up to temperature, let it run for just a bit, then check and make sure you've got no leaks. So anyway, I think that's about it. Dr. Shankopotamus here, working on the 2000 BMW 328 Ci E46. How to install this lower radiator hose and how to prevent it from busting on you out on the road by putting it in as it starts to wear before it actually starts to go. Thank y'all so much for watching. As always, please, if you enjoyed this video, if you thought it was helpful, nice comments are always appreciated, but go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I got to get my subscribers up. YouTube has quit the funding on the channel because I don't have enough subscribers, but I get quite a few views, it seems like, and I appreciate that from all y'all out there. But usually I have one or two things somebody wants to see, they like it, they move on. But if you did like this, just click that button at the end. I really would appreciate it. It would really help me out. Maybe we'll do something, get over 1,000 subscribers. Maybe I'll start to take requests on what to repair. But anyway, there's going to be more on the way, and thank y'all guys. Thank y'all so much for watching my videos and for your support. Take care.